Hello and welcome back here on my English YouTube channel about my Lego City project called Brickworld. And in today's update, we are going back to the area you can see right now here. We're going to work once again in that area, adding a new street in a very interesting angle. It's a very complicated build. I added 2 new base plates today for today's module, so stay tuned for some special build day today. For our new model today, I'm adding 2 new base plates in a size of 32 by 32 studs, and we want to add a very special angled street here because I want to have a street that's going in an angle of 45 degrees up, down here in that area, and it's going to be a little bit complicated. So I'm working with these cutted tiles here, as you can see it here. They have a 45-degree angle, and then I can work with it and create a little bit of magic here in Lego. As you can see here, it looks a little bit complicated. It's also a little bit complicated because you need a lot of time to find out what you can do to have especially what you want to have. And it's not so easy because even if you're building here in a 45-degree angle, the way from the 90-degree angle to the 45-degree angle is a little bit complicated if you do not want to have big gaps. So I tested a lot of stuff, and at the end I found that way to integrate that angle street as I wanted to have it. It took a little bit of time. I think it took us some hours to find it out, but that's a perfect integration of that street I want to have. As you can see here, I'm going to set some tiles under the part here, and then I can lay it on top of it. And it looks a little bit strange maybe, but it's perfectly possible to integrate that part into that structure I have created. And as you can see here, there's still a little gap here. That's no problem because I can use a 1x8 tile, as you have it here on the side, and just lay it in here, and that little gap will be closed perfectly. And that's something I'm going to show you later on. But I really like how everything comes together here. It's like the power of Mars, if you want to call it like that, because it really integrates everything without any gaps, and I have that very nice 45-degree angle. It's something I'm fair and very important for my city because I really want to get out of that 90-degree system you have with Lego. As you can see, not everywhere, but on a lot of places in my city, I really like to make it more realistic by adding angles and curves that are not normal Lego. And by the way, I got a new package from a fan. That time it's from Niels, and he sent me a package with a lot of stuff he's still not need anymore in his own city. Also sent me his minifigure here, and that's a minifigure I'm going to place in the city, of course. And he also sent me a lot of parts, and I'm very happy about every package somebody sends to me because parts is something I really can use every time in my city. It's a lot of different parts, and a very big thank you to you, Niels. Also these very nice parts here. I'm not sure right now what I'm going to do with that, but I think I'm going to have some nice ideas, also these parts here. And as always, if you want to send a package to the city or your minifigures, you can find the address in the imprint. So yeah, and here's his minifigure just placed in our upcoming big cinema room here, and now we have 1,272 minifigures in the city. And welcome, Niels. Coming back to our project, you can also see that I'm now working a little bit more on our blue building. I worked also on the last update because that building also has some strange angles, but I think we can integrate everything here. We can just put that back in here, and then we can use that hinge here to combine everything in a very nice way, and then everything comes together, even if we have a lot of strange angles here. But I think that makes it very realistic because normally, especially here in Europe, cities do not have that straight 90-degree angles everywhere, and all these curves and streets that are at a different angle make it more realistic in my opinion, which is, as I said before, very important for me in that project. And after I got everything solved here with all the problems here, with all these different angles coming together, I can show you now how that little 1x8 tile truly fills up that little gap here in our sidewalk here. As you can see here, I just integrated it here, and also I closed that very big gap here with lots of plants here, and everything looks now very nice in my opinion. Also, I integrated here the next part of our blue building, and I really like that. If you want to call it a corner, it's not a corner, but everything feels very natural and very realistic in my opinion here, and I think it's worth all the time I put into creating that little area here with all these complicated building techniques and angles coming together. And I really like that as a base for upcoming projects, upcoming updates here in that area of my city. And yeah, as I said before, I really, really like how everything comes together, how I wanted to have it here in my mind. And of course, it's a lot of stuff left to do here, but I'm now on the way that everything comes together as I wanted, and that's great. And that's going to be the final view of today's update. As you can see, I'll work a little bit more here on the street, especially on the part here where we are coming from the 45-degree angle back to our 90-degree angle system. I also added some new minifigures here to have more life here in the city. And as I said before, I really like how everything comes together. It was a very hard way, of course, but at the end, it's nice to find always a nice way to integrate everything you have in mind. Of course, there's a little gap here in the sidewalk, and I just added a sticker here. It's not perfectly aligned because it has to be a little bit more curved, but it's not possible to do that very nice without using a sticker. And at the end, I always prefer sticker or printing on the parts if it's not possible to create a very nice look with you just using bricks and plates, because that destroys, in my opinion, the overall look in a project like that. So stickers and prints are not bad, in my opinion. And yeah, that's it for today. As you can see here, the street is going to go up here, and then we have to build another 45-degree angle to come back to the 90-degree angle system, because if you're not doing that, we will run with our street exactly into our cinema building. That's maybe not the best idea, but I really like, as you can see here, the overall look here with the roundabout and everything else. It just looks very nice and natural. And I don't think that you see something like that built out of Lego often here on YouTube or other media. And I think, just repeating myself again and again, I really like the overall look, and it's coming together as I have it in mind a long time ago. And yeah, that's it for today. As always, feel free to write whatever you think about today's update. If you have any ideas, feel free to write it in the comment area. And that's it for today. More updates coming soon. And yeah, bye.